All right, y'all. So, get things started here. I literally just maybe 2 or 3 hours ago, man, maybe maybe a little more than that. I think I just finished watching the movie Obsession. Now, this was something that I don't know. I've been hearing a lot about over the last say month or so, and I don't know. Like today, I know I've been telling people in chat that I was really wanting to go watch The Odyssey, which I 100% still am going to do. But I don't know. Just I think just because this movie had been out longer, I'm like, oh, I'll rent it. I think I rented it on Amazon Prime, and it was like $10. So I'm like, shoot, that's not a bad deal. Bad deal. Get to watch a movie I really want to see for $10. What did I think of the movie Obsession? Am I now obsessed with the movie Obsession? Well, I can happily say that I really, really enjoyed this movie. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I will say this is probably the best movie I've seen in terms of like in the genre of horror movies of just like wishing, of like wishes and things like happening and coming true. I should say I won't delve too much into spoilers. Just kind of surface level thoughts and you know, kind of where I think this sits, I guess, in terms of other movies. But yeah, I would say for me, most definitely, this is probably like the best movie in its like kind of horror genre of like I said, wishing and what is it, the monkey's paw, as people typically call that whole thing, where you get a chance to make a wish and things aren't exactly, or you don't word it the right way, or things don't go the way you want them. I would say in terms of this is definitely maybe. Wasn't there was another movie that was super crapped on. It was called Wish Upon, I think, is a movie that was like similar to this. I know I had heard that like TV shows have delved into this. Like I think Tales from the Crypt, I heard, did something like this, and then also X-Files had something kind of similar. But yeah, in terms of this kind of sector of horror, I think this is probably the best maybe thing I've seen. It's really good. It's really entertaining. I thought the main girl, oh gosh, my voice broke. Come on, Chaz. You can tell I'm not a talker. But the main girl, this Indy Navarrete, I cannot tell you, she does a great job. I loved Bear, who was the main actor. This is the main girl, and then there's this guy, Bear. Those are like your two primary characters throughout the film. I would say both of their performances are like really freaking good. I can most definitely say, I mean, the girl, most definitely, her performance is the kind of larger than life, more extravagant performance. So she's definitely probably going to go on to do a bunch of other big stuff. I guarantee you, she's going to be a hot commodity, you know, very soon, or if not already. This guy, I thought he was really good. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes on to do more larger stuff as well. But yeah, they were both fantastic. Kind of staying away from spoilers. This is a dude, Nikki was so unsettling. She definitely nailed the screaming. Yeah, like I said, she's definitely gonna probably go on and probably get roles for other horror movies. I heard that there were some theories. People are thinking that like, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but apparently this movie's budget was something like $1 million, if that, or if more. And it is grossed, and I think this is low end, and this is old numbers, but as of like several days ago, it had grossed like $100 million or something like that. I guarantee you it's probably way over that now. But where I'm getting at is that because this movie did so well in the box office, and you know, it's already on streaming, so in the box office and on streaming, I can almost definitely assume that the movie studio is going to want to fund a sequel or anything. And I was seeing that some people are thinking that this could turn into its own series or something. I'm not quite sure, based on the ending, how you could turn it into a series. But if I think I could see how you could connect it to maybe make it like what's the word? It's essentially, oh gosh, I can't think of the name. It's essentially a group of movies where like each of the sequels doesn't necessarily have to tie in with the original one. But I would most definitely assume that Nikki Girl, Indy Navarrete, she did so well. I guarantee you they're going to want to bring her back. I can't imagine you wouldn't. Like I said, she's gonna be a hot commodity. She's like I said, even it is kind of sad that, like, I'm not saying sad. She's the larger than life figure in the movie, but the other guy is really really good. But it's just, you know, her role is the bigger one. She is the it character in the movie. So I can guarantee you that's where things have to go. The director's doing the Chainsaw Massacre next. I had heard about this, says Ryan in chat, which I'm not necessarily. My big worry with movies like with smaller movies like this, where they're like really freaking good, is that the movie studios or the director themselves, I guess, kind of. My worry is that him, is what I'm saying. My worry is with him is that I'm hoping he's not, because he did a great job with this movie. Granted, it's a very like simplistic plot, and you know, there's not a heck of a whole lot to it. But my hope is that he's not chasing the money, I guess, in a way, taking on, because obviously, the Chainsaw Massacre is a much larger IP that has been around. You know, it's kind of set in stone where it's at in the market. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm just like, this guy is a smaller, he's a YouTuber. If you guys don't know his name, what is it, Barker or something? I know he's a YouTuber who's done like a lot of YouTube shorts and TikToks and Instagrammies and all that stuff. So like, I don't know, I'm kind of hoping he's just not, his britches didn't get too big, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. I just hope that like I was saying, I'm hoping that this, like, what do you guys think in chat? Are you hoping that this turns into like a series or something like that? I mean, for what, like, if you guys have seen the movie, I don't understand how you could turn it into a series. Oh, an anthology. I think that was the word I was thinking of. Is I've heard some people saying that they think this could turn into like an anthology series. I mean, I guess I would prefer that than like a direct sequel to this, but I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I, for one, I don't really feel like I need a sequel or anything of the sort out of this. It's pretty crazy in itself. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it all the way. Definitely, like, I would say, see, I've seen people, or I'm fine with it being a one-off thing, says Veronica Rose. No, I 100% agree with you. I would actually say what I will compliment this movie on is that, like, more than just being scary, I wouldn't necessarily say this is a super scary film. What I will give it is that this is probably one of the most, like, uncomfortable feeling movies that I've seen in a while. Most movies don't need a sequel, says Odin. I don't know about that. I think it depends on how you end it. Like, if you end a movie in a satisfactory way, then, or if you end it where it makes sense that a sequel is necessary, then I don't have a problem with a sequel. To me, it said everything that needed to be said, says Veronica Rose. Yeah, oh yeah. I agree with you. I just don't know if the lore, like, has room in it. The lore that was built here has room in it for a sequel. Like, you have these little wishing sticks things, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it would be an anthology if we did get a sequel. This is coming from the director, says Ryan. Well, that's what I mean, is like, I don't understand how you could make it connect to another movie unless the next one is just some other new character who buys also a stick and they wish for something other than a girl falling in love with them. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you could do like another Pet Cemetery type thing where somebody's dog dies and they wish that their dog comes back, but their dog comes back evil. Oh, that's the next one. But the only problem is that, like, I feel like this movie is, like, titled and everything is very tied to the relationship or obsession aspect. So, like, he's open to a sequel but not a continuation of this story. Yeah. My question is like, so does the next one have to also have the idea of the wishing stick, and then also the idea of obsession and love, or would you just go in a direction of wishing stick, and like I said, someone, maybe their dog died and they wish their dog back and their dog's evil? Because that wouldn't necessarily, like, tie into, like, in my opinion, this movie wasn't really about, like, the wishing stick or about the wishes and everything. Like, I really felt like this movie, like, if you really like look at what was behind it and what the movie's about. One Wish Willow. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what it was called. Like, this movie, in my opinion, was heavily about just I don't know. Like, I feel like in a way like cowardice from the main character Bear. Not only in terms of like him wanting to oh gosh, what was her name? Oh gosh, I can't remember the main girl's name. Indy Navarrete, who's the character in the movie? I can't remember. You guys will let me know in chat. But yeah, the guy Bear, like, I feel like heavily the like the biggest focal point, in my opinion, of the movie was kind of Bear's shyness and kind of cowardice in how he approached things. On what not to do, says Veronica. Her name is Nikki. That's right. That's right. Freaky Nikki, that they called her in the show. No, I 100% agree with you, Veronica. Like, that's what I'm getting at, is that I feel like the focal point of the movie was obviously like bodily autonomy, because if you don't know, okay, so the mild spoilers. If you don't know, in the movie, this guy Bear really likes this girl Nikki in the movie, and he's such a, and this is where I was getting to the point of like cowardice and shyness. Is he's such a shy person, and he's so kind of cowardly in how he approaches certain things that he wishes for her to love him more than anyone else in the world. And I mean by that, but the bodily autonomy thing is that she eventually she kind of becomes, or she doesn't kind of, she something else becomes her, and the real Nikki is lost somewhere in the void or captured by something. And I would say where the real horror and the real like messed up part of the movie is that this guy Bear is dating, like, I think at first he doesn't realize what's happened and he just thinks she's into him, but I do think there is a point in the movie, yeah, Bear's inability to actually take responsibility on anything he does, says Veronica. No, agreed. And I do think like, because I would actually say that the Bear guy, in my opinion, throughout most, not even most, through a portion of the movie, he's really not like that bad of a person. But then, like, there does come a point where to him it does become obvious that it's like, oh, my wish came true, and all of this love that I'm getting from this girl that I'm really into isn't real, or this isn't actually her. And I do think where Bear does become the villain, in my opinion, he's obviously the villain of the movie, where he does kind of become the villain is when he comes to that realization that what he's done has altered this girl and has made her obsessed with him, is the fact that he continues to date her. They have sex and stuff. Well, he has sex with her, and that's where I was saying is like that's where the idea of like control and like bodily autonomy comes into place. And I feel like that's, I would actually say, in my opinion, that's the focal point of the movie, is just Bear and his like just desires and the controlling aspect when it comes to Nikki. In my opinion, I don't know about you guys. Do you guys agree with that? I don't know. I don't want to seem as though I'm like, to me, that was the focal point. Like all of this, and where I'm getting at is that because to me that stuff is the main aspect of the movie that's interesting. To me, it's again the focal point. I don't understand how you could have a sequel where the only thing the sequel has to do with obsession is the wish stick, because again, yes, the wish stick is the thing, is the cause of the obsession movie, but it's not really what's the most interesting aspect of the movie. So again, how do you have a sequel? You guys get what I'm saying? How do you have a sequel where about the lesser interesting aspect of obsession? You know what I mean? Unless the idea of obsession gets transferred over to the next movie as well. But I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I'm just thinking. Yeah, Bear's inability. Oh yeah, we read that. More so takes advantage as it isn't actually her. Oh no, he 100% takes advantage of her. That's what I mean by like bodily autonomy, is that it's not her at a certain point. Well, after the wish, it's not her. So that's what I mean is like when when he realizes it's not her, in my opinion, he instantly becomes the villain of the movie, because he is basically R-wording her. He is basically assaulting this girl when he knows it's not actually her. And that's where I get at that he's like a super coward, in that like he knows he knows all of this stuff, and he's still essaying her in ways, and and parading her around, taking her to like parties and stuff. It's, to me, that all of that stuff is obvious. Well, not obvious. To me, all of that stuff is definitely like the most gross, I guess, grotesque aspect of the movie is that part of the plot. He's always a bad guy. In the first scene of the movie, when he's telling a story to the waitresses of why he likes Nikki, it's just things she does for him, not anything about her, says Ryan. Oh, I didn't even notice that. So, I might have totally missed the opening scene. I saw that. It was something, him practicing what he was going to say to Nikki on some waitress, right? I don't know. I played the movie and then I went and washed the dishes real quick, so I might have missed like the very first scene. Veronica says, I think they would call it something else that still involves the One Wish Willow. Yeah, but that's what I mean, though, is like, I don't know, I don't want to keep reiterating, but like, again, to me, the most interesting part was the controlling dynamic with Bear and with Nikki, and the bodily autonomy stuff. That's the most interesting part of it. And so, like, do you move the idea of that and the Wishing Willow over to the next movie, or do you just move the Wishing Willow to the next movie? I don't know. That's my thing. Is like that's more for the director to decide, I guess, whatever he wants to do. Not to mention how he doesn't blame himself for his cat or the burial. Oh, he doesn't. I didn't realize he didn't blame himself for the cat dying, even though he left his grandmother's pills open or something. I didn't realize that. Huh. I mean, for sure, no, he for sure is like, he is the villain in the movie. Like, there's so many points he has where he can like attempt to almost, in a way, I don't know, he can't nip it. That's the thing, is he can't nip this in the bud and walk away because of the supernatural aspect of what's happening here. But regardless of that, there's many opportunities for him to attempt to do that throughout the movie. And again, that's what makes him the bad guy, is like, he blames the cat? Did he really? I didn't see that. Man, there's a couple aspects you guys are pointing out that I totally missed. I didn't miss the part with the cat, which, that cat, oof. There's some stuff in the movie with the cat that's pretty crazy. Cried more over Nikki's Insta over Sandy. Who's Sandy? Is that the cat? And not to mention, he also is like, he's like infatuated with this girl Nikki, and the other girl in the movie, Sarah, is like, she's like, in a way, like infatuated. Well, not, she's in love with Bear, and he doesn't even realize it. He's like way too into this other girl Nikki. Oh yeah, he didn't give his cat Sandy a proper burial, but instead chooses to dispose of it. Plus, it was his own fault for not keeping his meds in check and kept away. Oh no, for sure. That's a great point. No, he did give his cat a burial, didn't he? Didn't he bury the cat in the backyard, and then she dug it up, I think? Plus, the cat most likely ate it due to being neglected for not being taken care of. Oh, that's a great point, yeah. I doubt the cat would have if the cat wasn't like, it was probably like really hungry. I don't know, maybe you guys are changing my mind. Maybe he was bad all the way throughout. There's so many layers to Obsession that makes me mad. Yeah, no, I get. No, he put Sandy in the trash. Did he put Sandy? I thought he buried the cat. Because doesn't he? Oh, but maybe he lied to Sarah? I thought he told Sarah, he's like, oh, she dug up the cat or something. But maybe he lied about burying it and he just dumped it in the trash. Oh, gosh, he sucks. Goodness. But I don't know. I don't really have a ton to say. I loved the movie. Thought it was great. Nikki, Bear, the two main characters were great. I even loved some of the supernatural aspects in it, like the stuff that did. There wasn't much that had to do with the wishing willow, but there were a couple scenes where Bear is like attempting to reverse what happens with the wish, and I would say all of those scenes I loved, because like there's like a supernatural entity that is clearly like effing with him when he's like, because on the back of the wishing willow box there's like a phone number, and that's one of the better scenes I liked, was that he calls this number and it is totally 100% like a demon or something, just messing with him, and is like, I don't know, you can tell it gives it away, but it definitely like knows everything that he's done. It knows the name of Nikki. There's even like a creepy part at the end of his like phone call with some sort of demon where he's like, the demon's like, do you want to talk to her? And he's like, talk to who? Nikki's in the house. And it's just like it's just some woman screaming in the background, which you can tell that's like the actual Nikki's spirit, in some realm or somewhere. I don't know. It's really cool. Towards the latter end of the movie, it does kind of like the demon or whatever is controlling the wishes definitely like gets brave and like starts just kind of messing with him. And I don't know, it's pretty entertaining, I would say. Yeah, we get snippets of how he can be a bad guy until it's fully set into the movie. My favorite is Ian's wish. Oh yeah, there's a character who, towards the latter end of the movie, towards the latter end of the movie wishes for $1 billion. Or did he say $1 billion or something? And like, money, just rolls of money just starts pouring in from out of nowhere. I would say like, I'm not sure if I liked that part. I don't know. I think it just depends. Like I would have appreciated it if that wish only happened because that person was tied to Bear. I don't know if I like it if like everyone that's going into that store can just grab a stick and wish for anything. You know what I mean? Like I would think word would get around fast that like, hey, everyone needs to go here and grab one of these sticks and your wish comes true. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be the case. But I feel like if Ian's wish had only come true because the demon knows he's friends with Bear and it's just trying to mess with Bear and it lets his wish come true. Like, I feel like if that's the case, then yes, I love that scene. That was great. Interesting enough, you can call the number. I did it some time ago and it only works once. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Great movie. Gosh, is there anything else? Oh, I did forget to touch on the actual spookiness of it. I did mention that, like, I was more creeped out by this movie and uncomfortable, but there are a few scenes that are, like, huge standouts. Unfortunately, I would say, unfortunately for this movie, I feel like a lot of the best spooky stuff is kind of spoiled in like TikToks and Instagrams and stuff. Unfortunately, like this scene on here that I've got is like a really good one. All of the best scenes are just like when I was watching. I don't know if you guys know Alana Pierce. Yeah, but it's already an established thing. Bear looks up in their Reddit and got mixed reviews about the Willow working. Oh. Yeah, I did see that. There were a couple Reddit posts of it working, so. Or straight up, what if the Willow only works if you're a bad person? Maybe it only worked for Bear and Ian, because remember, Ian wasn't necessarily a good guy either. It had been, or Sarah had told Bear that Ian had been sleeping with Nikki for like 2 years, which Ian is like best friends with Bear, which is who am I? I mean, I think it's totally effed up if you're like if your best friend is sleeping with a girl that he knows you've been trying to like muster up courage to ask her out over 2 years. I think it's kind of shady. You know what? I feel like that may be a good reasoning. Maybe if you're not like the best person and you go up and you make a wish, maybe it comes true. But the majority of the people going in and buying one who aren't bad people, it doesn't work for them. You know what I mean? Maybe because the wishing willow is only meant to like punish people. I don't know. I feel like I've answered it. I'm going to go with that because I like that answer. That isn't said in the movie, but I'm going to go with that because I like that ideal. Oh, the scene got me creeped out in the theaters. Oh, gosh, this was a great scene. But there were definitely, like I said, I was saying, there were a couple of standout scenes. This was a great one. Oh, I was mentioning, if you guys watch Alana, or not to mention how vague the wishes can get, but nah, Bear has always been a terrible person. Plus, it reflects the wisher's definition of, let's say, love is. W answer. Oh, no, but I'm saying that, like, I'm saying I think the wishing stick, or the wishing willow, whatever it's called, is less interesting if it just works on everybody. But I think it's more interesting if it only works for people that are legitimately bad, because maybe the wishing willow is meant to be like a punishing item or a curse type thing. Maybe that's why in the Reddit post you have like 100 posts of people saying, oh, this thing doesn't work. But the couple people that do say it worked, maybe they're all like bad people and are dead by the time Bear is reading that. Got me sunk in my seat. I did not eat those jump scares. Oh, but like I was saying, Alana Pierce did a video where I thought she made some good points. And in particular, I think the one point I think she made is that, like, this is one of those movies where, like, oddly enough, the main character is the most safe when the villain is around. Which, I don't know, well, our main character is supposed to be Bear. And Nikki, even though she's not a villain, she is the evil character of the movie, but she's not a villain. Like, the actual Nikki, or neither Nikki really is. But, it's what she was saying is that it was most interesting because in most movies, the good guy is trying to constantly get away from the villain. But it's super interesting because in this movie, the Bear's safe Bear is, and that's another interesting part, is our main character Bear is most safe when the villain of the movie is around. Isn't that super fascinating? Is that always Bear is most in danger whenever he's not around Nikki, because the whole point of the movie is just her obsession, her infatuation with Bear. So the more she's actually around him, the more safe he is, because she just loves him and wants him to constantly be around. But anytime he gets away from her, she becomes instantaneously dangerous. Which, again, that normally it flip-flops that horror aspect of there's scenes where, like, Bear is off talking to people and Nikki's back home or something, and those are like some of the, and you just like know at any point you're looking in the background because you're like, oh crap, Nikki could show up at any minute now. Where is she? And you're like constantly on edge, and you're still on edge when he's around Nikki, but a little less so, because you just know that, like, I mean, she doesn't want to hurt him, really. Well, if you wish for a sandwich, I don't think you can get mad if you get a PB&J instead of ham and cheese. Since Bear said, I wish Nikki loved me, it's very specific. Yeah, and he didn't even really wish for her to love him, right? I wonder if he did phrase it, I wish Nikki loved me. I think it would have been okay. But the fact that he said, I wish Nikki loved me more than anyone else in the whole world. Like, that just sounds like, it sounds like you're just begging for, like, obsession, right? The way, I mean, maybe it's still the cat's paw. Maybe it's still the monkey's paw, where, like, either way, even if he did say, I just wish Nikki loved me. Maybe if he said that, something still would have went wrong, but definitely saying it the way he said it sounded very weird. Although, I mean, Ian's wish didn't kill him, right? He wished for $1 billion and the money just dropped into his lap. Like, would Ian have been okay if he didn't be a dumbass and go over to the house? He's obsessed with her. His wish reflects his love back at him through Nikki. Okay, so you're agreeing with me that it's a sort of punishment, where either way, if he would have just wished for her just to be in love with him, he still would have been punished or cursed in some way. No, yeah, I think there's a great chance of that. Goodness, let me browse through. Is there anything else I really wanted to touch on? I don't know. I guess the only thing I'll touch on is that, like, the social media aspect of this movie. Almost in a way, like, obviously this movie is heavily booned by the social media stuff. It's all over kind of Instagram and TikTok. So in terms of numbers, I feel like that's really kind of thrown this movie into the zeitgeist, kind of. I will say the one thing I don't like about a lot of the social media boon that this movie's gotten is that I feel like a lot of, like, the best scenes are kind of spoiled a little bit in some of them. But I mean, other than that, like, the scenes are still great. I still love the movie. I'm just saying I saw a lot of the scariest parts about this movie on social medias, and I don't know. I don't know if I love that or not, because I'll be honest, like, this movie wasn't it wasn't as crazy. I don't know if it was crazy enough to have deserved such a pop social media wise. Like, not saying it wasn't great. Like, I loved the movie, but I'm just saying, like I don't know. Like, most of the time, these crazy movies that pop on social media, like what was it, Chicken Jockey with Minecraft and stuff like that, is tailor-made to draw the attention of, like, crazy young people. I don't know if this is tailored to, like, to that same way. Like, I don't know. We'll see. No, he was always a creep. His version of love is obsession. So when he wishes she would love him, the only love he knows is obsession. So he reflects his obsession to him. Ah, I see. Yes, this is exactly what I thought as well, said Skylar. I can see that. I can 100% see that. And I kind of agree with you. That's why I was saying that, like, I view the Wishing Willow as more of, like, a demon's route to punishing bad people. And looking at it like that, to me, makes me like this movie a lot more. Gosh. Oh, anything else about this movie that I really want to touch on? I don't think so. Well, alright. I think that's about it. Like, I really enjoyed the movie. Go watch it. I did want to throw out the fact that I just watched Evil Dead Burn last week or the week before. I thought this movie was much better than Evil Dead Burn. I'm sorry as an Evil Dead fan that I'm kind of, like, burned out on the series, but I thought this was far more interesting, far more... I was more spooked by this movie than that movie. So, again, I'm not trying to compare them. They're two totally different series, but I think that was my opportunity to crap on Evil Dead Burn a little bit. I don't think the one Wish Willow isn't supposed to punish who's evil or something like that. Really? Well, it may not be. I'm just saying, to me, that's more satisfying than it just granting the wish to anyone who wishes. Mainly because, like I was saying, like, if you would think, if these things literally make people's wishes come true, then everyone would know about it, right? Like, how does everyone not know that if you go buy one of these things for $5, it grants your wish? I don't know. I mean, there's a movie reviewer that's getting cooked from his take on the movie. Oh, says Veronica Rose. Oh man, I had seen somebody talking about that.
Well, well. Looks like you've reached the end, haven't you? You imbeciles. On Enter ChazmaN, you'll witness gaming brilliance beyond your comprehension. ChazmaN Live brings the drama. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 5:30 p.m. EST. Long Plays delivers full journeys, uncut and unspoiled. Join the Patreon, Discord, Instagram, and TikTok below, if you can manage it. Still not following Enter ChazmaN? Then mediocrity clearly suits you.